My name is Alison. I am no longer a carer because my husband has died. I have been a carer 3 times in my life. Once because my daughter got diabetes when she was only 6. My husband, when I was in my 40s, got mesothelioma, the cancer caused through asbestos. And then again, my husband I married after that. He got a very, very rare form of dementia, and I was his main carer for 6 years. But now I run the Somerset Carers Group, so I'm still very, very much involved with carers, and I have just been persuaded to sign up as a carer for Carers UK for Somerset. When I was a carer, I found that just meeting up with other people, going to a group and talking to other people who were in the same situation was probably the best thing, because I didn't feel on my own. Okay. What made it easier was having very good micro providers who helped me, but it was admitting that I needed some help. Yes. Because it's very difficult, and some of the carers I'm dealing with now, the person they're caring from doesn't actually want to have help because they're not admitting their problem. Yes. So, but for me, having very good micro providers was very useful. What did make it easier was when I had a very good social worker who, because I got breast cancer in the middle of it all, and I had a social worker who was with me throughout that period. So I actually got to know him, he got to know me, he got to know my husband. And what I find very difficult, or found very difficult, is that now you only have a social worker for X amount of weeks and then you're discharged and then you've got to start all over again.
But that's quite a dialogue that's built up between you both, isn't it, really?
And that was very, very helpful. I was very grateful to him.
Yeah. So people who can get to know you, who you are caring for, and it's sort of the nitty-gritty of your situation, really, isn't it?
And because Nigel had a rare form of dementia, every time that we had a new person, I had to go through it all again. Certainly, I say talking to other people, and having people. I had at that stage a doctor who was willing to listen.
Yes.
Which was good. And having a micro provider rather than a care company, because when we had the care company, we had 13 different carers.
You feel you get a bit lost inside.
And of course, then I had to go in through all of what's wrong with him. Okay, and he didn't know them either. One of the poems I wrote is called Night Respite, because we had direct payments. And so I was allowed to use the money for Nigel, but I was given so many hours a week, but it didn't cover night care. And for the last 6 months, he forgot night was supposed to be day, and he was totally muddled. And everyone said, oh, well, you can sleep when he's asleep. No, I couldn't, because during the day I was having to do all the things I had to do.
Yeah.
And you can't just fall asleep. So I was absolutely exhausted. And one of the things that's happening with the carers I care for now through the group is that I have a mobile phone, and they know they can phone me at any time after hours. I mean, they can phone me during hours as well. Frequently get texts from people, saying, I'm just at the end of my tether, and it just reaching out to somebody. Once you got palliative care, once we got the hospice involved, they do have a 24-hour phone line, and that would be wonderful, because I do tell people now to get in touch with Samaritans, because they're always there to listen. They say, oh, I'm not suicidal. I said, no, but they listen, and they've got trained people who can listen.
That's what they're there for, isn't it?
So, but there is a singular lack of help after hours. Very, very difficult. With 111, I mean, I had so many disagreements with 111 over somebody coming out to him. I didn't need a doctor. I needed a district nurse. So in the end, I would say, I don't want a doctor, I want a district nurse. Well, when he fell and cut his head, I mean, he was blood pouring out of his head. And they say, is the patient conscious? Yes. Can I speak to him? No. He's got dementia. He's got blood pouring out of his head. Talk to me. Immediate help, immediate response that you can get hold of somebody so you don't feel alone.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, that's really scary, that being alone bit. I certainly think that the commitment to carers needs to look to recognise the work that carers do, unpaid carers. Because if they stop working, if they stop being unpaid carers, the whole system will collapse. And I think in Somerset we're doing fairly well compared with other areas that I've come across.
But there's still room.
But there's still a long way to go, but to me it's recognising carers, listening to them, understanding what their needs are,